Hi everyone, Teddy Baldassarre with TeddyBaldassarre.com, and in this video we're looking at a watch from Baume & Mercier with the Hampton with a blue dial. So on this channel we cover watches available for purchase on our website, TeddyBaldassarre.com, as an authorized dealer. So in this video, deep dive in this timepiece, final points of consideration at the end, but also throughout the video if you have further questions, check out the link in the description down below to the product page. Without further ado, let's jump into the video, take a closer look at this watch. To begin, it's important to discuss Baume & Mercier's long-standing history of watchmaking, as by comparison to other brands, it doesn't nearly get enough appreciation. The brand is actually the 6th oldest currently in operation, dating back to 1830, now currently falling underneath the broader Richemont Group umbrella, and serving as one of the gateways to the world of luxury watchmaking. In recent years, the brand has begun to expand its reach by way of its revolutionary calibers for the price, like the Baumatic with its 5-day power reserve, and the reemergence of the Riviera, an integrated steel sports model that has roots dating back to 1973, a full 3 years before the likes of the Patek Nautilus came on the scene. Though among its busy collections is the Hampton, a model family known for its rectangular case silhouette, easy wearability, and clean dial finishes that help elevate it among the limited brands that decide to delve into this watch styling. In this video, we look at an impressive example with the Hampton 10732, showcasing this blue dial and an alternating finish in a case that combines timeless principles with contemporary approaches. Now, measuring in with a case size of 27.5 millimeters paired with a thickness of 10.2 millimeters and a lug-to-lug of 43 millimeters, this watch follows the standards of dress watch elements of years prior. Although it is harder to give an approximation on wearability given the case shape to those that have never worn a watch like this, I would say it wears like a 37 to 38 millimeter circular case equivalent thanks to its relatively short lug to lug. This considered, there is a sense of presence that comes with a rectangular or square case that optically tells a more detailed story beyond the dimensions itself. The watch is flat to the wrist and is added by curved down lugs to ensure it slides underneath even the tighter of dress cuffs. Set between 19mm lugs sits a color match alligator leather strap with a light padding that is backed with what appears to be calfskin. The strap is produced in Switzerland and is of good quality and requiring some break-in with that padding, all while meeting the case seamlessly without adding excessive wear. With a very slight gradual taper, the strap terminates at a polished steel deploying clasp, signed with the Baume & Mercier logo. Drawing influence from the Art Deco era with sharp angled geometric shapes, the case acts as a bold frame, lending visual gravitas to the design. Featuring polishing on nearly every surface, the case transitions softly at its edges with uniform finishing throughout. Transitioning to the vertical case sides, the polishing continues, only interrupted at 3, where a large 6.5mm push-pull crown handles time setting with deep cut ridges around its circumference and the brand logo being embossed on the dome top. The screw-down case back is held firmly into place with 4 flathead screws at the corners, while leaving a view of the movement held beneath at its center, with the watch being capable of 50 meters of water resistance. Returning to the dial side, the sapphire crystal has a curvature that peaks at the center dial, adding an interesting side profile as it meets the case. Despite the heavy doming, the dial beneath remains unadulterated, allowing the mixture of applied finish techniques to illuminate with the turn of the wrist. The color I would describe as more of a navy and darker lighting, which then can transition to more of a cobalt and direct light that is only even more exaggerated by way of its surface finishes. The main dial has 2 primary surface finishes. At its outermost edge, the dial has a small perimeter of blue that is then marked with a railway-style minute track, with the then elongated indices falling into the track at one point and then extending to the central dial at their other. This part of the dial that houses the indices in 12 and 6 Arabics has more of a matte backdrop, enabling the reflective properties of the applied elements to be more conspicuous. Stepping inward is a stark perimeter set for the innermost part of the dial that exhibits a sunburst effect, with sword hands at the center and simple white text at 6 and 12 for the brand logo, and automatic text referring to the caliber on the inside. Powering the Baume & Mercier Hampton is the BM72671, or also known as the ETA 2671 base caliber. Now, one of the common challenges with rectangular cases is identifying an appropriate movement that will fit the case given the narrow width of the case, in this instance only being 27.5 millimeters. The ETA 2671 is only 17.2 millimeters in diameter, making it an appropriate choice for a rectangular case like this one. As is the case with many ETA movements, the 26 671 from ETA has a stellar reputation coming from the #1 name in third-party calibers in Switzerland, with the movement operating at 4 Hz or 28,800 vibrations per hour, featuring hacking and hand winding. Hacking stop in the seconds when you pull the crown to the farthest position. The movement features an Etacron regulator for fine-tuned adjustment and comes in with a 38-hour power reserve. And typical for Baume & Mercier, regulation on these pieces tends to be quite good, with the Hampton that we have here when testing across 5 different positions running between -2 to +4 seconds a day. All right, so now to unpack when looking a little bit further at the Baume & Mercier Riviera Hampton. So this is a piece that, by default, being rectangular, coming from a brand that maybe not as many people think of, maybe outside of the Riviera, for example, or maybe one of their Baumatic powered calibers, isn't going to be the first on the list. But when you look at the landscape of rectangular style cases, what are the options available to you under $5,000? And if you are somebody that wants something different and also a different dial approach to go along with it, with its finishing technique and what it's bringing forth, that's where a watch like this can make some more sense, because you look further at the competition, then you have brands like a Longines potentially, or maybe an Oris, but there isn't that much more out there available to you. Further, this watch wears very traditionally when it comes to how it's packaged on the wrist. 38 hours of power reserve, definitely going to be on the shorter end, especially compared to what you will get with their Baumatic calibers of 5 days of power reserve. The crystal and its doming is very unique, especially from that side profile of this case. And this is one of these rare instances where you're seeing these two different alternating dial finishes, with that central point having that sunburst effect and then having more of this matte effect on the outside. It does create a different illusion than you'll see elsewhere. So ultimately, who is this watch for? I think if you have to really simplify it down, it's for somebody that wants a rectangular case-shaped watch, but doesn't want to go for the same format and styling that has become almost ubiquitous with the Cartier Tank. Instead, wants to have a rectangular case shape that has some of that charm, but also with its own take on the design, with its dial layout and finishes to go along with it. All right, everybody, that's all we have for this video. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Really would appreciate that. Also, if you are in the market for this watch, we do have it available on TeddyBaldassarre.com. TeddyBaldassarre.com is an authorized dealer for over 30 brands, quick and fast fulfillment, dedicated customer support, and a full factory warranty for all the products that we offer. And also, how we're able to fund all of our productions is through selling watches. So if you are in the market for a watch, we'd absolutely love to have your business, because it allows us to keep doing what we're doing, and we love what we do here. But guys, thank you again so much for watching. Be well, and I will see you all very soon.